Up next is the cabinet team, who's going to be talking about the DEXBot, automated trading bot for BitShares. And I believe that's going to be Kimchi King is...
No, that's me actually, Permie.
Oh, okay, Permie. Hey, Permie.
Okay,
yeah.
So I have not been on a Hangout before, and the cabinet team have prepared a 10-minute sort of speech, summary of what we're doing, what's going on. Is it all right if I have the floor?
Yep, that's kind of what these are. They're like online meetup.
Yeah, great. Okay, so can you all hear me?
Sure can.
Okay, so hello, I'm Permie, here to represent the DEXBot cabinet, a worker proposal management team who are representing the BTS network's interests in building DEXBot. We are entrusted with multi-sig authority over the worker proposal funding to build an automated market-making bot. We perform the meat space organization and admin that the network cannot perform itself, but we are not building the software. We ensure oversight and act as middle management between the network and the contractors that it employs. I've got an update and introduction to DEXBot speech that the cabinet members have prepared, which will take about 10 minutes. Before I really get started, I should say that market making and use of market making software carries significant risk. I'm not here to promote the use of such software, merely to lay out what is being built and what is being... DEXBot cannot do anything that a person can't do themselves manually. We are a team comprised of BTS community members with reputation gained from the forums and Telegram rooms. I've been here about 3 years and most of the team have been here at least 1 year. We came to know each other through a shared vision to increase the liquidity available on the DEX. Our dream is to distribute the role of market making throughout communities so they can provide liquidity and healthy markets for themselves. We believe raising awareness about DEXBot to the wider crypto community is very important, and we're making full use of the amazing talent in the BitShares community to help increase public awareness of DEXBot, including the risks and dangers of market making software. To this end, community member Gabriel has been contracted to manage DEXBot's social media accounts, and he's doing a great job. The DEXBot cabinet has contracted the services of software development house Coda One, based in Helsinki, to take on the bulk of the development contracts. Their website is www.codaone.fi. We've built a good working relationship with Coda One via Marco, who interviewed them to take the contract and liaises with them to ensure DEXBot gets built as efficiently as possible. We are targeting low-hanging fruit as a priority for spending the worker proposal funding. If something is easy and quick, we want to get that done. Introducing DEXBot. DEXBot is an open source and free-to-use digital servant capable of placing trades on the BitShares decentralized exchange to a defined strategy. It's a market-making bot with permissionless access, and it's intuitive to use with very conservative settings as default. It will be plug-and-play integrated into the BitShares DEX. DEXBot will be easy for the user to customize and edit certain variables to meet their needs and help build their strategy, such as order sizes, center points, and spread. Such a market-making bot that is an open source may seem appealing to big companies as well. We're working to increase the liquidity on the DEX to such a level that a high volume of BitCNY and BitUSD can be traded at close to market price as possible. Big companies and large exchanges who investigate DEXBot will become familiar with the DEX and the BTS network in the process. DEXBot will come ready to use by anyone, including exchanges who operate on the DEX. But if they want to change something for reasons, there are, for example, CryptoBridge on there don't have CryptoBridge prefix. So if they wanted to change DEXBot to suit their customer base, they are able to, as it is open source. Okay, so we'll explain the strategies and the tools. I'd like to first explain the main difference between trading and market making. DEXBot does not provide price signals or suggest trades based on technical analysis. With DEXBot, users will aim to provide liquidity to markets and hopefully profit from doing so. Trading is gambling on the price going up or down. Market making is providing liquidity so that profit is made regardless of direction, hopefully. It's not guaranteed. Market makers help buyers and sellers get a better price. DEXBot is currently in alpha stage and is available to test on Linux. The Windows program is coming soon, so I'll explain relative orders. It's the first tool developed and is available to test right now. Relative orders finds the midpoint of the two closest buy and sell orders on the book and allows you to choose a spread and then continually places orders at this spread. As price moves and orders are filled, new orders are set at the new price. This is the same strategy employed by BTS bots, a now defunct BTS software. So a 5% relative orders strategy would place just 2 orders, one at 2.5% above the market price and another 2.5% below the market price. And here you can see an example of DEXBot instance that's been running. Mac OS is also available, but it's not easy to install yet. And here is a picture of DEXBot, what it looks like, the GUI. Okay, so the second tool that's currently in development is called Staggered Orders. Staggered Orders places multiple buy and sell orders over a given range at desired increments. For example, orders will be placed at plus 5% and plus minus 5% from your starting point, which is chosen by the user, and then staggered up and down from there within your range. Once a sell order is filled, it is replaced with a buy order at a price 5% lower and vice versa, constantly buying low and selling higher, or selling high and buying low. This constant replacing of orders keeps liquidity in the markets and allows for accumulation of profits, if there are any. Imagine there is a coin that's going up and down, so you want to profit. You set up an account and it buys at one price, say 9, and sells at 10. Every time it goes down, this account buys. Every time it goes up, it sells at 10. Each time it makes a return, about 10% in this example. Well, there's a problem. What if the coin is going between 11 and 12 when you were expecting it to go between 9 and 10? No problem. Set up another pair of orders, increase the range to set up more orders to include that price. What if you have no idea where the price is going to be? Well, you just set up a whole range of accounts with orders ranging at 9 and 10, 10 and 11, 11 and 12, 12 and 13, and so on. So the effect of all this is that it can cut down volatility. You will make a little money wherever it goes through one of your ranges. This is the essence of staggered orders. Now, which coin pairings, what ranges, how many staggered orders should be placed, it's all up to the user. And however, some users like a 5% range over a wide variety of prices as a long-term staggered order strategy. One parameter for building DEXBot was that it had to create liquidity and never destroy it. Both strategies add orders to the books and do not remove orders, therefore increasing liquidity when used. DEXBot is a maker and not a taker. Both strategies should be seen as tools rather than strategies. The real strategy comes with creating multiple workers, which is what we've called individual bots running within the same instance of DEXBot, and having them work together to complement each other. For example, you could create multiple DEXBot workers using the relative orders tool to work a variety of spreads. Or you could create one worker using the staggered orders tool to cover a large range, whilst also concentrating around the current price with another worker. This could be visualized as a long-term staggered strategy and a day trade staggered strategy. Update on development. In the /DEXBot BTS Telegram room, we've been using polls to get progress input from the DEXBot community of testers and bot users. The results of the recent poll showed that implementing staggered orders next is a preference. Cost and benefit of DEXBot. So far, roughly 36,000 BitUSD has been spent developing a cabinet team of balanced spending with respect to cost minimization development. The worker allows up to 6,600 BTS to be spent a day, and at times of high BTS price, this amount was initially queried as potentially high. It's worth pointing out that in the last weeks, this has only just been enough to cover the costs due to the low BTS price, and a longer period of low prices could have slowed progress down. The sooner this worker creates value for the DEX, the better. We've had some feedback from user testing of the alpha stage DEXBot, which just has the relative orders tool so far, and we found that the transactions that DEXBot places, fills, and cancels pays about 1 BTS in fees per day. At current prices, this is about 20 cents per day. If fees continue to remain pegged to roughly the same dollar amount, each non-lifetime member user who runs DEXBot 24/7 will pay about $73 per year in fees per worker. DEXBot allows up to 10 workers running at a time, and lifetime membership makes fees 80% cheaper. So each lifetime member running DEXBot with one worker for 1 year would pay $14 in fees. So a power user of DEXBot who buys lifetime membership, which is $120 roughly, and runs 10 workers, all 24/7 for 1 year, would pay $120 upfront for the lifetime membership and a further $140 per year in fees. If DEXBot is moderately successful and adopted by 1,000 users who run their bots for 24/7 for 1 year, DEXBot will produce $73,000 in fees for the network on the low end, but on the high end would bring in $120,000 upfront for lifetime memberships for these power users, and a further ongoing $140,000 in fees per year. So if 1,000 users use DEXBot regularly, the seed capital investment will be repaid within 1 year. But we believe income from fees isn't even the main source of income resulting from DEXBot. We think far more value will enter the DEX due to an increase in liquidity available. If hundreds of thousands of dollars could be traded without clearing the entire book, in other words, if a big customer can buy large volume of assets without moving the price, then the DEX enters the big leagues, and it will be well on its way to becoming the decentralized exchange, with more users, more fees, and more media attention. Website and marketing. So DEXBot has a website. It's www.dexbot.info. And to advertise this website, Marco is also running a BTS account, which is named dexbot.info, using DEXBot's relative order strategy using a very tiny spread. So if anyone cares right now to look at the BTS Open BTC order book and view the account names, you should see dexbot.info at the top of the buy side of the book and the sell side of the book. So I've got that running for you guys to have a look. You can use cryptofresh.com/a/bts.openbtc. I'll just post that for you. If you scroll down the page, dexbot.info should be there. Okay, I'd also like to take this opportunity to make sure everyone is aware of open-explorer.io. It's an alternative BTS Explorer built by Alfredo, BTS core developer, and it has TradingView implemented already. So every market on the DEX can be viewed with TradingView, and it doesn't seem to be common knowledge in the community, so I'd like to tell everyone. Okay, the DEXBot cabinet have also been approaching gateways and coin communities. They can use DEXBot themselves to provide liquidity to their own exchanges, but they could also make cosmetic changes by forking DEXBot to suit their customer base. Individuals and companies using DEXBot to pursue selfish, self-interested projects will, as a side effect, contribute to the DEX as a greater whole. More liquidity means a bigger ocean for whales to swim in. We will also be actively trying to encourage coin communities listed on our gateways to come and make their own market. Help and training is offered in the market making room on Telegram, BTS Market Makers. The cabinet came together with a shared vision for what highly liquid, deep order books on the BitShares decentralized exchange could be like. DEXBot brings that vision a lot closer. Thank you very much.
Well, before I say anything, does anybody else have anything they'd like to say?
Yeah, this is really cool what you're doing. After Alt's DEXBot's shut down, there was a big problem with liquidity, but we've been testing your bot, and while we don't have any definite results to share, it would be much easier for us to provide liquidity on our gateway now. I mean, hopefully the liquidity would increase in immediate future. I know that Dima is running, but I don't actually currently do stuff like that.
My take on it is we need to get these things up and running and working into the hands of many people. When you look at blocktivity.info, you see that we have a lot of transactions per day compared to every other crypto, really. But we're nowhere near where this network can be pushed to. So these are the tools that we need to be partnering with, I think. If you guys have, like, I would ask you guys to tell different dexes to start doing this type of stuff, to work with these projects. These are like, did you guys get paid for this already, Permie?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for this first one, work proposal for DEXBot, we are paying ourselves by the hour when we have to do something quite important. So, for example, I've been paid for about 3 hours work so far.
Okay. And I'm assuming it's a lot more than 3 hours.
Yeah.
Worth of work.
But we want to demonstrate what we can do as a team.
Yeah, I think that Walrus made a good point. What we could do is we could get you guys in there as a default, potentially. Have it where there's options for different dexes, like Open Ledger, Easy Dex, GDAX is or G.
Don't forget us.
Right? I'm not going to forget Rudex. But you have all these different ones that can actually, we can upgrade this stuff and actually put it right there in these services, right? You have like, and this could be the first one, and it could be one of the defaults that's right there. Like when you go there, you have the option to go and say, right? And you put in your stuff, you put in your orders right there. And now the bot does your bidding, essentially, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that this is probably one of the ways that we're going to create a lot more liquidity, because when you look into all these markets, everybody's using a bot these days. And it's like, that's just the days we're in. We're not sitting there throwing around real legitimate pink slips and stuff like that, you know? But it's pretty cool, man. And you guys have a worker in right now.
Right now, yeah. We are in receipt of 6,600 BTS a day with a dollar value budget of about $665 per day. So we sell the amount of BitShares to cover our costs, and then keep the rest to burn or return back to the fund.
Wow, that's great, man. So you guys only use what you need to.
Yeah, we try and make it as efficient as possible, so that when we've got a product that's built, it can pay for itself as quickly as possible.
Okay, so, well, I will say real quickly, just if you could remind people how they can go and vote for your worker if they haven't already.
Okay, so if you go within your BitShares wallet and then go to voting, it's a worker proposal called DEXBot. And most of the big proxies are voting for us. So if you've got a proxy already, you're probably already supporting us, which is great.
I know that we are supporting you as proxy.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
DEXBot.info, the website, is still under development, and we're planning to make it a lot slicker and more of a PR advertising type. And Gabriel who's managing our social media, is bringing in some quite interesting people following us on Twitter. I can't remember their names exactly, but there was some, I think, following us on Twitter already.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think that we need to be leveraging these things, and we need to be helping the people who are doing this stuff. So please, if you can, share this content. Share, even if you cut out the clips of the different people and post them to your own channel. We actually reward the people who get the most views on that now. So consider doing these things, sharing the information, because as you guys can tell, this week is full of a bunch of different things that are going on in the BitShares ecosystem. It's happening really quickly, and it's because a lot of people who've been here, I think, are starting to like get it to the point where they have funds, they can free up some of their time. And Permie, you've been here for 3 years. You've been here for a long time, like since the beginning of BitShares, since the beginnings of BitShares.
Yeah.
And for so long, there have been people who haven't had the funds to do anything. you know, and we didn't have the funds to do very much. I mean, you remember when BitShares was 18 million market cap, right? And it's like now we
Yeah, it was lower than that.
yeah, a lot lower. but I mean, it's like that. Even at that market cap, I think it went to 6 or 5, didn't it? But anyway, now you guys have funding. No, now you guys have funding. You have things that you're building. So I appreciate that you guys join up and give information on this. I appreciate Kimchi King for signing everything up on this too. And thank you guys for what you're doing. And I would say everybody be careful using the bots. Obviously, it's the same stuff as when you're day trading or you're trading manually, rather. You want to be careful with how you trade. You don't want to get greedy. Just look at it as a way of helping to get some of the emotion out of things and automate a little bit of the process that you already do.
Especially right now, it's not a stable release yet, so there are bugs in it, and it's not necessarily going to run for as long as you expect it to or exactly how you expect it to. So don't test funds, keep an eye on it, learn what it is, and wait for a full release.
And another thing I'd like to add is that trading bots are really good for flat markets, for when the market is going sideways, but they are really, really dangerous when the market is changing hard.
Yeah, so relative orders is probably more like what you're talking about there in a fast-moving market with high volatility. Relative order strategies are going to be more difficult, but staggered orders is a sort of set and forget strategy where if you choose your range to be wide enough, it's you start to not care so much about volatility. So if it goes down, it fills your orders. If it goes up, it fills your orders. So there's going to be multiple types of strategies, hopefully, and staggered orders will not care so much about the volatility, and it should reduce the volatility overall on the DEX because it acts as a buffer. So if the price goes up really quickly and there's loads of staggered orders ready to absorb that rush, it should dampen. If the price is a sine wave going up and down, staggered orders should dampen the amplitude of that wave.
And what he means is make it so the market is less volatile.
Exactly. Yeah.
The people, so basically that's what market making is. It makes the market stronger so people can buy and sell into it at a price that is stable, and which means that they're more likely to want to buy and sell into the market because it's always something that they can generally expect. And that's the kind of that's how you make a DEX really powerful, is by making it so all those markets are very strong.
Yeah, I remember last year trading on DEX was much better than for last half year or so, when there were a lot of liquidity bots running.
Okay, well, thank you very much for joining up. We're going to go ahead and move on to our next topic, if that's okay, if nobody else has anything to say regarding this. But I will say thank you for joining up as always, because this enables people to know what you're doing, to be able to support you guys, and to be able to help. I guess one final thing would be, you did mention the Telegram. Could you mention it one more time? Could you give the actual DEXBot Telegram where people can participate?
Yeah. It's on Telegram, DEXBot, BTS, and BTS Market Makers is another one where advice for market making and discussions going on. All right, thank you very much, and it was good to be here. And I hope that in the future we'll be able to bring more work proposals to fruition. This is hopefully the first one for us.
It's starting to get really cool to see all these worker proposals coming together and seeing how fast everything's going along. So I appreciate everything that you guys are doing, and thank you. I will definitely be voting for you with my stake, and I think that we should really try to get the exchanges really working with these projects too. I think it's a beneficial synergy for all of you.